Welcome back to Your Health Matters. My guest today is Dr. Jakula Khan, infectious disease specialist here at Kingman Regional Medical Center. We've enjoyed having you on the show, Dr. Khan.
Thank you, Jamie.
As I
Thank
said,
you very
I always
much.
learn something new when I do these programs, so it's always good for me too. We were talking before the break about the importance of the vaccination and traveling, and that now is a good time in early December before you do your holiday traveling to get that flu vaccine so you're protected. I've heard people talk about that, I'm trying to think, there's like a vitamin C or something also that's good, or that if you put, like, is it Vicks under your nose? I mean, some of these are old wives' tales, I'm sure, that when you're traveling, if you're on the plane, that's going to stop the germs from getting in your nose. Does that make any sense?
No, not true. Taking some vitamins, vitamin C, may have some effect on the immune system, but not to a great degree. But certainly application of those Vicks
Right.
and other stuff, I do not think they will be having any effect.
Because just like we were saying, it's more your hands. You get it on your hands and you touch your face,
Right.
and that's how you're going to
Right,
spread the disease
exactly,
more.
right.
Okay, so that's good to put those little myths
Sure,
to
sure,
rest.
sure, absolutely.
So the other things I know that you're involved with here, and we've talked about the shingles vaccine. A lot of people ask about the shingles vaccine. And when's a good time to get that?
Shingle vaccines have been started, they are made available about 3-4 years ago, and this is the vaccine which the people on 60 and older age group can take it.
Okay, well, I just turned 60, so I guess I'm
Oh,
now
you
eligible.
okay, so you can get it, yeah, and it gives you protection because it's a very painful condition.
I've heard that.
Yeah, it comes with a rash and the pain. It is the viral infection. It is the same virus which causes you chicken pox. People get chicken pox as a child,
Right.
and gets over it, but the virus does not leave the body, stays in the body.
So if you had chicken pox when you're a child, you're more likely to
More
get
likely to
shingles.
get a reactivation of that same thing when you are older, or when you are diabetic, or God forbid you get a cancer on chemotherapy. When your body immune system goes down due to any reason, that can reactivate and cause you that rash and pain.
Okay, so it's a
So-
good thing then to, and most people I think over 60, because when we were kids, they didn't have the chicken pox vaccination then. So I know I got all of it, chicken pox, measles.
Right. Even though these shingles, anybody can get it, any child at any age, but it's more common after 60, and
Okay.
complications are more.
Sure.
And then the pain, which called it postherpetic neuralgia, which is nerve pain, can last forever.
Oh.
So to protect from that, it's wise to get this vaccine if you are 60 and older.
Okay.
And it's available.
Okay, that's good. And then pneumonia shot is another one now that people over 65, right, can get a vaccination if they're at risk?
Right. People over 65 years of age can qualify for getting that. Not only them, but other people who have a chronic lung condition.
Okay.
They are COPD, smokers, diabetics, asthmatic. They can have it in early age also.
Okay.
Earlier than 65.
But now I heard somewhere you can only get 2, is that right? 2 pneumonia shots? You get them like spaced apart or something?
Actually, it can get more than 2 because each vaccine can effect can last for 5
Oh,
years.
so maybe the
So
same.
if you are done with 5 years, you can be.
Okay, so
you
if
can
you got
take
it when
another
you were
one.
younger, because of your chronic
Right.
conditions, and you can have more as you get older. Maybe
Right.
when they're 65, if you get your first one, you have another one at 70.
Right.
And then they think you probably won't need
Right.
it. Maybe. Okay, that makes sense. So what other types of infectious diseases do you see and deal with here in Kingman?
We see a variety of infectious diseases. They are everywhere, as we are also in Kingman. So there are certain diseases are more localized to certain part of the country, certain part of the world even. Like in our country, in this western states, most of Arizona, California, Colorado, we have a valley fever also is one of the very common
Sure.
infection we see, which we don't see in the eastern part of the United States. So.
Now, why is that?
Because this is a fungus which lies in the dust.
On the
under
desert floor
under
type of
desert
thing.
floors.
Okay.
And when the wind comes, and that takes you into those spores of those fungi, and you can inhale it and you can get it.
Oh.
So it's one of the common. I would like to mention it specifically because we didn't used to see these things when I was in the New York, New Jersey area, where you don't hardly find anything.
Right.
Here it is very,
Very
common,
common.
and we look for it if patient comes to us with the pneumonia.
Oh, okay, so pneumonia is maybe one of the early signs?
Yeah, that's how it most common presentation of this valley fever is pneumonia.
And
lung
there's
infection.
nothing, there's not like a vaccine or anything?
There's
that-
no vaccine, unfortunately, for
Okay.
that, but it's treatable once you diagnose. it.
Okay, so it's just figuring out what it is they
Yes,
have. And
absolutely.
I've heard, too, one of the reasons, because you never used to hear of it, even here, very often, but it's becoming more prevalent. And I think someone told me it's because as we're growing, not just here in Kingman, but in the region, as you're talking about, and we're stirring up the dirt, you know, that it makes more dust.
Constructions and the changing the landscape can cause these germs to come into the
Sure.
air, and you can inhale it. That's one thing. And other part is that we are more looking for it, so we are
Okay.
finding it more.
Right,
and
right.
that's another
We're more
way
aware
to-
of it, so we
Right,
know what it is.
exactly.
Very good. Well, so Dr. Khan, tell me, how did you get into infectious diseases? What did you do your training and your specialty?
Well, I find it's very interesting because it's a very amazing world of the germs.
Yes.
The microbes are very smart and they're changing, so we have to learn how they do and what they want to survive. And in that process, what kind of disease they cause to the human beings. I've been trained in New York. I did my medicine residency, and then I did infectious disease fellowship in Columbia, New York University.
Oh, okay. Very good.
And then I practiced infectious disease practice there in the neighboring state of New Jersey.
Okay.
And then I landed here.
I was just gonna say-
practiced something almost 14 years of ID practice there, and I'm here in last 4 years.
4 years. I was trying to remember. I knew you've been here for a little while, but still fairly new to Kingman. So how did you come to choose Kingman?
Well, my friends came here before me,
Okay.
and they were really asking me to come to Kingman because there
good.
was a need for here.
Yes.
Unfortunately, we do not have an infectious disease physician here in whole Mojave County right
Right,
now.
yeah.
So we can serve a lot of people, even people from Lake Havasu, Bullhead City,
Right.
and the Kingman.
We're
do
lucky
come
you
to
chose
us,
to come.
do come to us, and we try to help them best we can.
Very good. And you have 4 children. You shared with me, your wife and you are here with your youngest.
Yeah, I've been married for 28 years. I have 4 children,
Very good.
1 son and 3 daughters. My son is just finishing the law school. My another daughter is finished the medical school.
Oh, very good.
The third one, my daughter is in Tucson.
Okay.
She's a college student right
Very
now.
good.
And the fourth one is here in Kingman.
Excellent. That's very good. Well, we're blessed that you made that choice to come here because we definitely needed you, and I know you've been able to help a lot.
Thank you, and
out
I
of these
liked.
people.
I thank community also. We had a very, very good response, and I like to be in Kingman, and that's why I'm here last 4 years,
very
and
good.
hope I will continue to be serving this
Excellent.
community.
Well, us too. So we're glad to have you here. Now, some of the other things that you work on, and we talked about before the show about the Wound Care Center that we've had in the program before a little bit. We've talked about it. And you're the medical director for the Wound Care Center, correct?
Wound Care and Hyperbaric Center.
In Hyperbaric Center. I always forget to add that on there. And the Hyperbaric Center is pretty cool. That's like almost a dive chamber, right? And that helps with people that have these unhealing wounds.
Yeah, it has a multiple indication, but mostly we use for chronic wound healing, the wounds which are not healing for extended period of time with the routine and care, so they can benefit from the hyperbaric oxygen therapy, which is a oxygen under pressure, very high
So it
pressure.
really pushes the
Right.
oxygen into
It gives
the...
an extra oxygen into the tissue,
Okay.
and that stimulates the healing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good. And then the wound care side of it as well, then they do other things. I know they...
Yeah, wound care has changed over the period of time. It's a very revolutionized. What we used to do 30 years ago, 25 years ago, is not really valid because we have a lot of new technologies, new products. We can help and promote and accelerate the wound healings. And we have a very wonderful wound care clinic center here. We call
Right.
it the Wound Healing Center of the
Yes,
Kingman.
yeah.
And we have wonderful staff there. I'm the director of that wound care center, and we serve a large amount of population.
Very
And,
good. So a lot of times it's people like, for instance, with diabetes, that they have their bodies have a hard time healing. They get bruises and wounds and things. And,
True, yeah.
So do they need to get a referral to be able to come to the wound care center, or do they just call the wound care center? How do they get there?
It depends on this type of insurance, you know, Jamie, but they can always contact our wound care clinic, you know, personnel, and then we can guide them how to get there. But we can get referral, we can ask for referrals, we can help them to get referrals.
Oh, okay,
But
good.
we are open, and we always listen and help the patients to get in also.
Well, that's good to know, because I know a lot of times people don't know where to start to get help. You know, they don't know who
We can
to
certainly
ask.
guide them to do and
Okay.
get how to get to the wound care.
Well, I know that they can call our main number, the 757-2101, and ask for the wound care center, and they'll
Absolutely.
transfer them over. And we also, on our website, have a page there about the wound care and
That's right.
hyperbaric centers, so they can go there to the www.azkrmc.com, so they can get more information
That's
there.
right.
And they can learn more about you too, because we have under our physician directory, it has a page for you and has your photo, and it talks about your background, your education, and your bio. And the link from this show will be on there in a couple of weeks. So
Okay.
we always try to, when the doctors or the different healthcare specialists are on the program, then we get that YouTube video and put it on the website as well, so people can watch it again if
That's
they've
right.
missed it. So that's good to know.
Sure.
So besides wishing all of our guests here that are watching today happy holidays as we're coming up on that, is there anything else you wanted to share, Dr. Khan, before we close?
No, I mean, you know, as we said, we do all different things, and we are always available for the patients if they need us. I have my infectious disease practice also in this professional building in KRMC. So
That's good. Well, like I said, they can look at the website and get your information. We appreciate you being with us today, and I hope you'll join us next week. We'll have another great guest on the show. Happy holidays.